Alright, I'm here with a brand new collection video, this time going over my GameCube collection. If you watch my videos, my pickup videos, you listen to them, which is fine. I expect most people probably listen to them. You know that I keep my GameCube collection there, so now it's blank right now. Um, but we'll going over my GameCube collection. GameCube is pretty much my favorite system, I'd have to say. I just really like the system itself, how it looks. The library is really great, I think. I think it's Nintendo's probably... I don't know, Switch might beat it, but I think, in my opinion, this is probably Nintendo's best lineup. Um, it's great. The GameCube's awesome. So we're going to go through that collection today. I'll give my thoughts on some of these games. I might speed past some just because I hadn't played them, or, there's not much to say, or I've spoken on the game enough. First up here, we got Animal Crossing. This is my original copy from when I was a kid. You got the manuals all beat up and everything, but I used to actually keep notes in the manual of like cheat codes and stuff, and how much different fish were worth and all that. So that's fun. But yeah, I love Animal Crossing. It all started with this one for me. Now I'm really big into this series. Played a ton of the Wii one, played a ton of the 3DS one. Never got into the DS one because I didn't have a DS until later. But really excited for the Switch one. So. Gotta love that original Animal Crossing, though. There's something about it just that hasn't been captured since the first one, I think. I guess maybe it was just because I was a kid, I guess, at the time. But I don't know, something about it feels a lot more, and it probably is a lot more, I don't know, maybe lack of a better term, mysterious, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it was just because I was a kid. But there's something about it. It's a much smaller game. There's much more to do now. But something about this one feels like just different, I guess. I don't know. It was, I guess maybe there was nothing really else like it over here at the time, and it was a, very, very distinctly Japanese type game. But I don't know. We got here Batten Kaitos. This is not the Origins. I've been looking for that one. That's one of the games I'm looking for the most. This is Eternal Wings in the Lost Ocean, and I believe this was a Monolith Soft game. Yeah, it was. And this game is pretty cool. It's an RPG. You battle with cards and everything like that. Interesting title. You don't really think of the GameCube for RPGs, but there's some cool RPGs on here. There's a port of Skies of Arcadia, which I don't have that port, but Skies of Arcadia is a pretty cool game. There's a lot of good RPGs. I'm sure we'll get through some here later. But if you're a Xenoblade fan, you want to kind of see what Monolith Soft did before they were bought out by Nintendo. This would be cool and worth a shot. And that first Batten Kaitos is relatively inexpensive. I know GameCube games are starting to go up in price now, but that first one you can still, I think, probably grab for like $20. Yeah, I noticed that recently. GameCube prices are starting to really shoot up. I don't really know what's up there, but I got most of what I want aside from a few titles that I'd like to pick up. Batman Vengeance. I don't think I played this one, honestly. I don't. I mean, I have it because I found it for cheap and it's in really good condition, but I don't remember ever playing that one. Battalion Wars, pretty cool game. The same series pretty much as Advanced Wars in a way. I guess it doesn't play exactly the same, but close enough. But yeah, I mean, it's the Wars series. It's a shame because there was a Battalion Wars 2 on the Wii, but it's a shame we haven't seen anything of Battalion Wars, we haven't seen anything of Advanced Wars, because I like Advanced Wars better, but it's a shame we haven't seen anything of those series in years now. It would probably have to be either, there was a DS Advanced Wars, I think there's 2 of them, and there was the Battalion Wars 2 on Wii, that was probably one of the last ones. Beyond Good and Evil, kind of a cult classic that's now getting a sequel, and I don't know about that sequel. I don't know about that. Beyond Good and Evil is a cool enough game. It's one of those games where it feels like, I know it's kind of a joke to make a sequel to Beyond Good and Evil, but did anyone actually, I don't know, really ask for it? I mean, the first one didn't sell very well. I remember there's kind of a joke that it was given out at one point. PC copies of it were given out with like string cheese. So, I mean, it didn't sell very, very well. I don't remember if that's true or not. I think it was. I think that was an actual thing. They gave it out for free with that, but I don't want to, speak authoritatively for that for sure. But yeah, I mean, it didn't sell well. That's certain. And it'll be interesting to see a sequel now. It's probably going to end up came out in 2003. The sequel will probably be out 20 years after the original one. And that's crazy to think, but that's really interesting. And I'm interesting to see how it goes out. It looks far different from anything that you expect from the series, but I guess maybe it's just a evolution. Bomberman Generation and Bomberman Jetters. They're Bomberman games. I like Bomberman. These ones are pretty fun. You know, I mean, I think you probably know what you're getting with Bomberman at this point. If you look up Bomberman Jetters, I forget. There's a song from the Bomberman Jetters anime that sounds like a ripoff of the Seinfeld theme. That's all I got to say. Chaos Field. I got this one in a trade a long time ago for some... I found some Commodore stuff I traded with a guy in a local Facebook group. This is a pretty interesting shoot 'em up. I'm not an expert on shoot 'em ups. I'm missing the manual on this. I'm not a shoot 'em up expert. That's not really my genre. I like them. I'm terrible at them, but from what I can tell, it's a pretty decent one. Crash, Wrath of Cortex. This is a Crash, not made by Naughty Dog, made by Traveler's Tales, who now we know as the Lego Games guys. That is not a very good Crash game by any means, I must say. Sorry, I'm scooting the camera back a little bit to try to get a better shot of the games. Not a very good Crash game. I like the first ones. I really liked the remake they did, but the PS ones I like, but I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm good. Crazy Taxi. I mean, Crazy Taxi is Crazy Taxi. We all know Crazy Taxi, and it's great fun. I have no idea why Acclaim published this. I don't know why Sega did not publish this. That was always weird too. That THQ published a lot of the Sega games on GBA. I'm not sure what was up with that. Anyone knows why, leave it a comment, but I don't know why that is. Custom Robo, this game's pretty cool. I got this for like 75 cents at a thrift store one time. That game's pretty cool. There was a bunch of Custom Robos before it. I think this is the first one we got. There's one on the DS we got over here too. And there was a bunch of Custom Robos before it, but we never got those. There's I think 2 on the N64. I saw them on my trip to Japan, but I might have picked up one of them. I don't remember. But it's just an interesting game. I mean, it's a Nintendo game. I would say give it a shot if you're looking for something to play on the GameCube. Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix. Yeah. I don't know. It's Dance Dance Revolution Mario. I've never played it. I have the stupid mat like in a box somewhere with all my game storage stuff, but I've never actually played it. I don't really have any interest, but it is a novelty of a Mario branded Dance Dance Revolution game. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. This game is pretty cool. I mean, somehow it works. It is a 2D platformer where you use the bongo controllers and you clap to jump and you do like a little roll on the right drum to go right, a little roll on the left drum to go left, and it's bizarre. It somehow works pretty well, and it's a good time. It's a genuinely fun game. I mean, the level design is nothing to write home about, but just the idea of playing a game with the bongos is kind of fun. And I'd give it a shot. Got Donkey Konga and a Donkey Konga 2. These games, I mean, they're fun. They're fun little rhythm games. And I like rhythm games, so I mean, they're a good time. A little bit ahead of that, Guitar Hero trend, I suppose. Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. This is a pretty cool game. I like this one a lot. If you're looking for a horror game, GameCube maybe not. If you're going GameCube versus PS2 for a horror game, you're going to go with PS2. But GameCube has Eternal Darkness. It has Resident Evil Remake and Resident Evil 4 and all that. So it stands pretty strong. This is a pretty strong title. It was cool that they put the main character, who I forget her name at the moment, as a spirit in Smash Ultimate, kind of. Because Nintendo certainly does not go and try to remember that series, but it's cool that they at least acknowledged it. Every couple months, maybe every 6 months, we see a thing that's like, oh, Nintendo's went and upped the Eternal Darkness trademark again, and it's like, all right, we're probably not going to get a sequel, but it's fun to believe. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. I have not played this one. It's like a 4-player Final Fantasy. You have to use the Game Boy Advances. I haven't played it. I don't have anyone that I could say, hey, why don't we play Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles? Let me just bust out 4 Game Boy Advances. But it was a garage sale find. They're doing a remake of it, or like a HD version of it for modern consoles. So it might be easier to try it out that way. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Funnily enough, this game goes for a decent amount nowadays, I guess. But I got this from a friend for $10 back, I don't know, 7 years ago, I think. He sold it to me. It was probably worth about 20 back then, and I was like, hey, I want to try out Fire Emblem. So he sold that to me. Maybe don't want to tell him how much it's worth now, but it can't be helped. But yeah, this was my first Fire Emblem title. I'm a big fan of the series now, and this is a pretty good game. I like it a lot. It does not have all that permadeath, turn it off and stuff. But I mean, it's not hard either by any means, and it's a pretty solid game. F-Zero GX. This game's great. F-Zero GX is great. It is a great racing game. It's a lot of fun. It's fast. It's exciting. It's a shame that we have not seen anything from F-Zero since then. But I mean, try out the Fast Racing Neo. It was on Wii U. They made it Fast RMX on Switch. It's a great kind of replacement for F-Zero for the time being. Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. Just grabbed this at a garage sale this summer, I think for a couple bucks. Yeah, I've not played it. I don't really have the time to sink into a Harvest Moon game on an older system nowadays. So I'm probably not going to play it anytime soon. But I like Harvest Moon. I like Stardew Valley. I played that one a ton on Switch last year. That is a good Harvest Moon like game. Hot Wheels World Race is another game I had from when I was a kid. I remember being fun back in the day. I'm sure it's not great now. It kind of is like, it's. I just read something on the back that made me laugh. It's kind of like an F-Zero type game from what I remember. It probably is not terrible, but I mean, I wouldn't say go out and get it. But it does feature the song "Hot" by Smash Mouth. I didn't know that Smash Mouth was all one word either. But that's what made me laugh earlier. There's nothing more 2000s than a GameCube Hot Wheels game with the Smash Mouth song in it, published by THQ. Killer 7 here. This is a game I've been wanting to get for a while. I picked it up at a garage sale in a bundle earlier this year. Haven't gotten a chance to play it yet. I was excited because I think NIS announced that it was getting an HD remake type thing. Then they're like, oh, it's PC only for some reason. So I guess I'll have to stick to my GameCube version when I want to try that one out. Got Lego Star Wars 1 and 2. More games I had from when I was a kid. They're fun. I mean, the Lego games, they make a ton of them now. So I mean, if you want to play a Lego game, you got plenty to try out. And if you have kids, they're fun to play with kids. I would recommend, though, you could probably get the Lego Star Wars complete saga on the 360 and Wii, PS3, because that has all the levels from both those games combined. Zelda Collector's Edition. Which I actually bought this at, what was it? A game convention in Cleveland a couple years ago by the YouTuber Grimsy42. I don't know if he does videos anymore. I don't think he does. But picked that up from him he had a booth there. Because one of his friends was running it. We got here Four Swords Adventures. Collector's Edition. I should probably have talked about Collector's Edition instead of how I got it. As Zelda 1, 2, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. It's a pretty solid little bundle there. I mean, there's a million other ways to play those games now, but at the time, I'm sure it was a steal. Four Swords Adventures. I have the big box and everything with the link cable and everything, but I just have that one out. And Four Swords Adventures, all right. Once again, it's kind of a victim to that. If you link up the Game Boy type gameplay, that unnecessary. So it makes it a little bit hard to, try to go back to and get some friends to play nowadays, but, it's fun. Ocarina of Time, Master Quest bundle. Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess is not one of my favorite Zeldas, but it's not bad. I just feel like the dungeons are all really good, but I feel like everything else kind of is a little bit dull. But I mean, it's still pretty solid all around. I played some more on it. I was not so hot on it when I tried it on GameCube or Wii, because I tried both of those. I was not so hot on it then. But when I played some more on the Wii U HD version and really kind of sunk my teeth into it better, I began to appreciate it more. But it's still not a great, great Zelda game by any means. Zelda Wind Waker. This is my favorite Zelda game, hands down. I love Wind Waker. It's so good. It is so good. And that HD version, really, it's a really good version just for the fact that it helps kind of, tidy up some of the stuff that I didn't quite care for on the original version, while also, bringing it back and making it playable again. Got here Lost Kingdoms and Lost Kingdoms 2, which are RPGs. So once again, kind of going back to that RPG thing that I said, where you can't do, you're not getting PS2 level RPGs on the GameCube, that amount of RPGs, but you're getting some decent ones. Luigi's Mansion, everyone knows. Not everyone was excited for Luigi's Mansion when it was first announced, because not a Mario game. But Luigi's Mansion's a real good game. I gotta say, Luigi's Mansion's a real fun game. They just remade it for the 3DS, and I hear that version is pretty good. But Luigi's Mansion is a classic. Got some Mario parties. Mario Party 4. Mario Party 5. I have 6 and 7 as well, but I forgot to take them out of there. I have the big boxes with the microphones inside. I have those versions, but I didn't take them out. But 6 and 7, I have those too. I really like 6. That's my favorite GameCube one. Because I like how the boards, they really changed the boards up. Did some interesting stuff with those. 4 and 5. 5 isn't great. 4 is pretty decent. But I mean, if you're going to play a GameCube one, I'd say go with 6. And 7's pretty good too. This is Mario Kart Double Dash. This is the one with the bonus disc. Which is cool to have. Double Dash, not my favorite Mario Kart. I'm kind of in the camp that they just get better every time they release one. So, I'd rather just play 8 Deluxe at this point. But Double Dash is still a good time. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. It's golf. Mario Power Tennis. It's tennis. Mario Superstar Baseball. It is baseball. Not much to say about those. I mean, they're good. They're fun. But, they're exactly what you ask for out of those. Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Prime is a great game. Prime is a fantastic game. I've never actually played Prime 2 or Prime 3, so I'd love to see a Switch kind of remaster of those games. I know it's been rumored forever. A lot of people, different people, reliable people saying it's real, so that'd be cool to see. But Prime is a great game. It holds up incredibly well. It is really, really just a great time. It's been years since I played it. I'd love to play that one again before 4. Prime 2, I'd never played it. I like the cover. I don't see that one. I don't think I've ever found a copy of that game other than the copy I have, which I bought at a game store years ago. Yeah, I don't see that game very often. Metal Gear Solid, The Twin Snakes. This is the first time I ever played Metal Gear Solid 1. I played all the way through it one time. I remember I got my wisdom teeth pulled, and I played through Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes on GameCube in my recovery. But, I've gone back to try, play the original Metal Gear Solid. I actually really prefer that one, the remake. It breaks the game a little bit because you can do first-person shooting and stuff like that. You can, because it has Metal Gear Solid 2 mechanics and the Metal Gear Solid 1 level design. So it definitely was not made for that. People don't like the cutscenes, but I don't know. With Metal Gear Solid, for me at least, the stupider the better because it's already kind of dumb. But I think it's a perfectly good version of the game. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. It's a Mortal Kombat game. I don't think I've ever played this one. I'm not huge on Mortal Kombat. The new ones look pretty decent, but I don't like the old ones. And that era of like GameCube, PS2 Mortal Kombat, it felt like it kind of run its course. I don't really have any affinity to the old ones either. But the new ones look cool. I know they just announced 11. I think it's cool. I think probably the most interesting thing is how they were able to take something that's so intrinsically 90s with Mortal Kombat being like, hey, this game's pretty much just popular because it's really violent. And they were, that could have easily been just a stupid fad, but they're really able to keep it relevant even now, which I find interesting. Need for Speed Underground and Need for Speed Underground 2. These are two games I had from when I was a kid. They were actually my dad's games, but we used to play them. I remember having fun with them. I remember two being worse than one because two had the stupid open world that was dumb. But we got Odama, which is a really weird, I don't even know how to. It's like a almost, I don't want to say RTS. It's a strategy game, but you use a microphone to command your troops. Nintendo made it. You don't hear ever, or not. They didn't probably make it. They published it. Nuance made it. I don't know who that is. Someone let me know who Nuance is if you're aware. But it's an interesting concept. I mean, you could get it for probably pretty cheap if that sounds interesting to you, but it's not the best game. Pac-Man Versus and Pac-Man World 2. This is a shame because you can only get this as Player's Choice. This bundle that has both. I'm pretty sure. It has Pac-Man 2 World 2, which is an alright platformer, but it has the really, really cool Pac-Man World or Pac-Man Versus, which is a multiplayer Pac-Man game that Miyamoto actually came up with. So that's pretty cool. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. I've actually never beaten the Thousand-Year Door, which is crazy because I really, really like the first Paper Mario. I've played about halfway through it, and my GameCube memory card broke. So I never played the whole thing. But I really like Paper Mario. I really like those first two games. I'd love to get back to that one someday. That's why I was kind of hoping for a Switch GameCube Virtual Console, because I'd like to be able to kind of pick some of these games up and have them portable that I can just kind of mess around with them whenever I want to, instead of having to boot up the GameCube, which isn't too hard. But, Pikmin 2. I don't know why Pikmin 1 was not first. Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2. I really like these games. Pikmin 3 on the Wii U was also really great. They're really fun. I'm still waiting for Pikmin 4, which Miyamoto said, it's coming, guys. 4 years ago, he said, it's done right now. I don't know where that is, but one day we'll hear about that. Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. This is a full-on Pokemon console RPG. It's maybe not quite what everyone would want, but it's kind of surprising that, a lot of people are like, hey, why can't we have a, console Pokemon game? And we got Let's Go and everything, but I mean, this technically fits the bill. I understand why people don't quite qualify it because it's not mainline by any means, but it's worth a shot. Rayman Arena. I have this. I got it in a garage sale. I don't even know what this is. Looks like a mini game compilation, but I'm not even sure, to be honest. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. This was really cool how they ported the PS1 Resident Evil games. They redid Resident Evil 1, but they ported 2 and 3 over because Resident Evil 4 here was an exclusive. And let me just tell you guys that Shinji Mikami told us all that if Resident Evil 4 was ever on another system other than the GameCube, he'd cut his head off. And now Resident Evil 4 was on the PS2, the 360, the PS3, PS4, the Xbox One. I think it was on the phone. You can get it on phone. It's on PC. It's coming to the Switch soon. It was on the Wii. Shinji Mikami is a liar, and his head is still intact. And I will not rest until he's done something about this. We got here Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I don't want to make the Sonic fans mad. I don't know. Those adventure games have not aged well, and that's not even really an unpopular opinion. They just haven't. I don't know. They're still charming. They're still fun in their own right, but they're not. I don't know. Some people see them as some kind of masterpiece, and they certainly are not. Sonic Gems Collection. If you're going for a Sonic collection, I'd go for the Mega Collection, I think it was called. Gems Collection, kind of like, hey, this is the, we blew our load on the Gems Collection. Where the only probably good game on here is Sonic CD. You got the Terrible Fighters, which is a bad arcade game. You got Sonic R, which is bad. And then you got a bunch of GameCube games. It's certainly not the Sonic collection worth getting. unless you want to play Sonic CD, which is a pretty decent Sonic game. Sonic Heroes. Sonic Heroes has a good first stage, and then it's just bad. It just goes downhill from there. Shadow the Hedgehog. Better not talk bad about this one, because some guy on my comments from my really old GameCube collection video told me he was going to kill me because I said Shadow the Hedgehog sucked. But I'm going to stand my ground and say this Shadow the Hedgehog sucks. Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. I had the original Spider-Man game when I was a kid, and I know people really fondly remember 2, but they both have not aged very well. Spyro: A Hero's Tale. Those Spyro games after the original Insomniac games are not very good, I gotta say. And that certainly that one certainly shows that. And these stupid games with Legend of Spyro games, these are even worse. And for some reason they had like who did they had like Gary Oldman in it, didn't they? Oh, here it is. Elijah Wood, David Spade, and Gary Oldman were in these. I don't know why. They're bad. Don't bother. Star Fox Adventures, this is apparently a variant from Kmart. Okay. I don't... this is actually kind of sad. This was the last game that Rare developed with Nintendo. Console game, I should say, because they did Diddy Kong Racing and Viva Pinata DS game. But because this game's not great. I know everyone knows the story of how it was originally supposed to be an N64 game called Dinosaur Planet. And this evolved into a Star Fox game. And on its own, it's not a bad game. It's not great. It's kind of like a mediocre, 3D adventure game that you would see on PS2 GameCube era. It's that, but with a Star Fox theme. Star Fox Assault, the better game. I like Star Fox Assault. It is, not as great. It's not going to catch that high of, Star Fox 64, but it doesn't need to. It's pretty decent. Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2, Rogue Leader. This was a GameCube launch game. And it's pretty fun. Super Mario Sunshine. Super Mario Sunshine, I really like it a lot. I really think it's fun. I love the world. I like the jetpack mechanic. I think it's a really fun game. I like it better than Mario 64. I think it's just a good time. It's probably, surprisingly, probably the least polished Mario game, but it's still a good time. Super Monkey Ball and Super Monkey Ball 2, which, I don't know, I'm surprised Sega has not done anything with this series since. I think the last game we got out of the series was like a Vita spin-off. But I'm surprised there's not like a Switch game or a mobile game or something with the Monkey Ball license. Because it's fun. I like it. It's a fun time. I know there's like a Twitch streaming community dedicated towards Monkey Ball as well. But I think it's fun. I'm surprised we don't get, we don't see much more of it anymore. Smash Bros. Melee. So I've been garage selling and looking for games out and about since, I started collecting in, 2011 or like January 2011. And I've been looking at, flea markets and garage sales since probably 2012, really started going hard 2013. I have found one copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee, and it's this copy that I found at a garage sale. Missing the manual, player's choice. I don't know how this game has eluded me. This is the most popular, most common GameCube game, and I can't find it other than one time. So that always drives me nuts. But, Melee, I'd prefer just to kind of move forward with Smash. I really like Ultimate. I've been playing that. I had fun with Wii U. Brawl's not a perfect game by any means, but I had fun with that one. I'd prefer just to move forward instead of sit there and still play Melee. 18 years now after release. Almost. Tales of Symphonia. I'm a fan of the Tales games. I've kind of lost interest now with these modern ones, but this is probably one of the better ones, I'd say. They remade it, put on PS3. I'd say maybe try that one now. It's a little bit more accessible, and it has the sequel that they put out for the Wii. Teen Titans. I got this at a garage sale. I don't really have any affinity to the Teen Titans, um, like at all. The only time I've ever seen Teen Titans is the new show that everyone hates, um, because I've watched it with my cousin's son. That's the only time I've ever watched it, and but I've heard that this is a pretty decent like beat 'em up, like I think like almost like a Ultimate Alliance type game, but I'm not sure I'm not sure. I know it's kind of pricey on. It's kind of a little tiny pricey. I think it's like maybe a $15 game on GameCube, but it's pretty pricey on the Xbox for some reason. Tetris Worlds. It's Tetris. I mean, it's the GameCube got a Tetris game. Professional video. Sorry about that, guys. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. I'm surprised. You know, the Splinter Cell games are pretty good. I'm surprised that the Splinter Cell is just kind of dormant right now. We got that one for, 5 years ago at this point. But with, the way Ubisoft makes games and how they do stuff, I'm surprised they've not found a place on the market for Splinter Cell, I guess. Wario World. This is probably the most forgotten GameCube game out there, I would think. This is one of the most forgotten Nintendo games either. It's not bad. It's pretty fun. It's really weird. But it's a pretty decent kind of beat 'em up platformer type game. You play as Wario. I don't know. I'd say give it a shot. It's cheap, but I never hear anyone talk about this game. No one. I think everyone wants to forget it ever existed. But yeah, it's pretty decent. And lastly, Wave Race Blue Storm, which is Wave Race game. They're pretty good. Now, real quick, I'm going to go through my Japanese GameCube collection, which is pretty small. All right, I just got 5 games here for my Japanese GameCube selection, but I figured I'd touch on them real quick. I went to Japan April of this year, April 2018, into May 2018. It was like the end of April, early May. And I had a great time. But I'm not going to talk too much about that because I have 2, maybe 3 videos up on my channel about that. I got a pickup video from everything I picked up there, and I got a video kind of showing off some of the cool stores in Akihabara and about Japan in general. But yeah, I got some games over there. The GameCube games over there are pretty cool. My first one I'll show here then is Animal Crossing. This is Dobatsu no Mori Plus, which we got. This is an upgraded port of the N64 game. And then we just got this version for the GameCube, since it was such a late release title. But GameCube games are pretty cool over there. They come in the same cases as the Game Boy Advance player disc, that little, smaller disc. And it's pretty cool. It slides out of the slipcover, and you got the little manual here, and you just got the game. Kind of interesting. It's cool that I guess they were like, you know what, this does not need to be in a full DVD case when you have these tiny discs. So I appreciate that. I think it's kind of makes it more interesting to me, at least. So yeah, I got Dobatsu no Mori Plus. This is what is this called? Kero Kero King DX, which we actually got as Ribbit King over here. This is Mutsu. I got these for so cheap. I just kind of picked them up if they had a weird looking cover. I don't know if we got this in Japan or in the United States or not. I just kind of wanted to pick up really weird games. And, I think I did there. This is Nintendo Puzzle Collection, I believe it's called. Yeah, Nintendo Puzzle Collection, which for some reason we just didn't get over here. Has Yoshi's Cookie, Dr. Mario, Panel de Pon. I don't know why we didn't get this. There's really no reason for us not to, but it's cool to have. And then lastly here, I forget what this one's called. I remember getting it because I'd heard good things about it, but I forget what it's called. So, there it is. There's my GameCube collection. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like if you did. Leave a comment with some of your favorite GameCube collections if you see anything missing that I should pick up. Favorite GameCube games, I should say. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both at Objo Gaming. And check out some of my other videos. Like I said, I got the Japan videos. I don't know. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. See you next time.